Today is day 317 of upgrading our lives for better. Tomorrow will be 360. We'll not stop until it's day one. Because I need that. I need to be that person. Because I want to
fucking hilarious.
people I see. Because I can teach them about the business. I know everything about the business. I know about the publishing. I know about the labels. Like you, I'm fucking obsessed with the industry. I'm obsessed with every producer, Dr. Max Martin, Benny Blanco, every single credit on every pop song. I know the producer, I know the manager, I know the executive, I know the lawyer, but at the end of the day, none of that matters if I don't walk in with the right intention. Yeah. So the education is there, but the intention was not. So that's the place I'm at now. That's the place I'm most proud of. She's already there. And the education comes organically. She just asks me and I tell her. And then she learns it, she's done. To me, it's like stuck on me. I'm emotional about it. I'm thinking about it. She's like, babe, I've already moved past that. What are you talking about right now? Let's go. We got to win. So, credit to her having that. And it's a beautiful blessing to have that balance. Yeah.
That's so, first of all, I love all of that, man. I mean, that's, thank you for sharing all of that, to be honest with you. It's like very real shit.
Yeah.
There's like a vulnerable side that I think a lot of people assume that if you're a manager, it's very robotic and it's
Welcome,
just very like this.
ladies and gentlemen,
there's a lot of
to a gathering of the mind.
Understand the creative side, who are emotional.
Yo, it's about
being real about
to go down.
The demons that you go through.
Uh-oh.
One of the things that I
Houston,
do
we
with
got a
it, it's
problem.
funny you're saying like taking a break. This weekend, it was like
Tell
the
me
first
why.
time I gave
Let me
myself
tell you why.
permission to not do anything in a while. Because there would be times where I wouldn't do anything, and the amount of chill that I would.
Oh my
You
goodness.
just got hired as a Domino's beta tester.
Why?
You get paid $5 to
Everything was perfect.
Skip this out.
And because I don't know where the fuck I put it.
Your spreadsheets have too many time wasting errors. Then Ingenta is for you. Reduce errors
Oh
and manage
man. Where did I put this?
contact.
Damn. What?
Hello, I'm Franklin Graham.
Yo, I had it right there this whole time.
It's a step into the abyss or into some kind of darkness.
Give me a
Well,
second,
for
yo.
those that have come to the cross of Jesus Christ, experienced His forgiveness, we in the presence of Almighty God. God made you, He created you, He loves you, and He sent His Son Jesus Christ to take your sins. But on the third day, God raised Him to life. If you're not sure that you're forgiven, you can be sure right now. Just pray this prayer with me. Just say, God, I've sinned. I'm sorry, forgive me. I believe Jesus is your Son, and I want to trust Him right now as my Savior. And pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. If you prayed that prayer, call that number. Right now, it's on the screen. We've got some people that like to speak with you, pray with you, but call that number. God bless.
But half of that, even though I work so much, was crazy because there's always a to-do list.
Yeah.
And this weekend, I was just like, you know what? I don't do anything. And I'm like, I'm going to go and do whatever I like to do. But I love movies. I love films. I ended up watching the trilogy of Ocean's 11, 12, and 13. I'm like, I'm watching this movie again because it's great. And why not? And I'm going to be okay with it. And it's like, and in that, I'm also getting to do other creative things, and my mind starts to go in other places.
Let's get this
Movies
party
give me
started.
imagination. And so then now I come back to work on Monday, and I am fulfilled, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need that. Because I also consider myself, I know the business. I had to learn the business of film because I had a business partner, loved to death, still my brother to this day, Ray Mendoza. Shout out to him, and we built this company called Mad Rock Entertainment. But at one point, he stepped away from it. I was a director. I consider myself a creative. And then I said, you know what? We have these other directors. He's stepping away from it to go pursue something else. I had to step up, and I became a producer. I had to learn about production management. I had to learn about all this department. Like, I had to learn how to balance it. But that wasn't my thing. But I always considered myself more of a creative. But I had to learn. And like when I learned those things, it made me so much better. It made me way better. So that, I guess, like we talk about balance, it's like balance of learning every aspect of the business as best as I possibly can, because then I can have a good general conversation with the specialist and delegating.
But make the best of it. So what am I doing? You may ask.
It's like that.
If it's not obvious to you, gonna show you what I'm
chill
doing.
for a second, you forget how necessary that is in this line of work. And artists as well. I think a lot of artists who watch this podcast, first and foremost, what I've noticed, and you probably noticed this when you guys started your company early on for the artist development stuff, is by the time they're like 21, they're like, it's so late. I'm never gonna, I'm so old, I'm never gonna break. I'm like, listen, Billie Eilish is an exception. This is an outlier. The 16 or 17-year-old kid, that doesn't happen that way for everybody. And I always find that it's like there's so much pressure with these artists who want to make it and become famous or successful.
Now I could comment there. I could chime in. You guys are listening to the Manager's Playbook. I can give you my live reaction.
Like you
For
just
educational
started.
purposes, only
Yeah, and it's
30
also inspiring to see the artists that the opposite side of it, where they did start
Oh.
early but hadn't had anything happen for like 10 years later, like the Zara Larson,
My
like
nephew
having her
picked
biggest time ever. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong, but
Gina
I feel like
Mika.
this is the biggest. And also like Tinashe doing the whole switch up and doing the DJ thing, like
Right.
maybe not a full rebrand, but like leaning more into that, you know? Like people just don't. I think that
Olivia Dean, she's
Yeah.
like 8 years in the business and only really broke like in the
Yeah.
past 18
she's
months.
amazing.
Kehlani, I mean, that's the best one of all
Kehlani,
time.
look at that. Kehlani, I mean, Jesse, like,
Jesse, yeah.
you know, Jesse's been crushing it, but like, I played golf with Byron this morning, and we were talking about it, and I was like, you know, the thing with Jesse's interesting, like, her career is so great because it is still building, but it is a slow build. This is like
Yeah.
going into the 10th year, right? And but like, you know, there's like a real business here that has been developed and been built, and there's a real fan base. And it's like, listen, you get one record.
Josie Ray is my personal artist.
Yeah.
Especially someone like that, right? So, you know,
Not new as far as,
talking
of
about
course,
artists
she's
as
been in
well,
the game a
which
long
is
time.
okay. I think
She's my,
very
you
cool.
know, out of
Jessie
this generation, she's my
so
favorite.
good. Still is to the credit in her entire team. You
Amazing.
know how that goes along.
It
Everything
does.
all along. She never had a problem with us getting that love.
Yeah.
And would always be very clear in any room we walk into business meetings. We'd be like, nah, because they hold it down.
Yeah.
In any room in business meeting, if it was an award show, it was always showing up to the team. Her company's called family.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, I think that feeling that your client gives you, because I would say, like, the relationship, okay, so this is how, when someone asks me, what is a manager? Or, like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a manager. And they're like, what does that mean? And, like, how is that relationship with the client? I always explain it, and it may sound silly, but, like, the relationship in Avatar, where you connect the tails,
Okay,
and if it works,
Yeah.
it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Do you remember that? Like,
I
where
do, yeah.
yeah, so I would say like that's kind of how I explain management. Like you're like, so the artist is here and then the manager and everyone is like around the artist, but like we have to be like the tightest for it to work.
Yeah.
Like it has to be, the world is around us.
Yeah.
And like we are together and like the world is around us moving, because there's so many people that are gonna pull us in so many different directions. And we got to stay strong.
Yup.
And so I always remind like Heavy Beats or the clients I work on, I'm like, this has to be that. And like whenever he calls me or whenever we call, like when he needs something, he'll always be like, what's up, manager of the year? Like he makes me feel good. And that only makes me want to work harder for him. But then if I'm, you know, like then there'll be the other side where you're like, oh, blah, 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 and you're like, okay, fuck this, you know?
When you're not
Yeah,
seeing,
yeah.
right?
And you can't see eye to eye. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You need to be
It's a
seen.
nightmare.
It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. But like again, AB has such an ability to. He knows how to not only talk to you like a manager, but like a friend. Like me and him, like I have a running joke where every time something happens, like type shit, and then he'll like always say it back to me. And we know what that means. It means more than just the funny thing, but it's a way to break the ice between each other.
Yeah.
I'd say like one of the biggest things I have to teach all young managers or all young artists: if you don't trust each other, get out, man. Stop right now. If you don't give your trust immediately to this person, if you have a wall up, they will not fight for you. A manager is not going to fight for anyone that they feel doesn't trust them. So the trust has to start from day one, even if there's hiccups, even if there's up and downs, even if it's difficult. At the end of the day, how you truly feel about a person instinctively is likely who they are for the rest of their lives. So stick by that. But if you start to think you start to blame everything but yourself, and you don't remember that the person that was there that trusted you is still the same person from day one, you can't see them anymore, right? So that trust is everything. And every client I work with now or I look at, I just want us to trust each other because I trust you immediately. I'm okay if you break my trust.
Yeah.
That's totally fine with me. I can get over that. But if you don't trust me, there's no way we're gonna.
I can't. That's always my trust is broken.
I can
And
get
it's
over
hard.
It's hard for me.
Yeah.
I have a tough time with that. But to your point, it's like that trust, it is everything, because then it knows that my artist is gonna run through a brick wall for me, and I'm gonna do the exact fucking same thing. Because I know when I'm not in the room, that artist is gonna represent me and our team to the fullest, because you know I'm doing that as well. And like you said, the best management artist combination, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
It's not like everything is roses. It's a family. You become like super tight, and guess what? Brothers and sisters, husband and wife, you're fighting, you argue, but the world won't know that. You internally can know that.
You
But when
fight
you go
through
to
it.
you fight through it, and but guess what? The best thing is always like you'll have like your issues, and they won't be resolved. And you got to go to a meeting in 10 minutes, and then you go to that meeting, but it's like never ever happened.
Yeah.
When you're all still aligned and you're in the room, and it's like a telepathic thing. It's like
Absolutely.
you don't got to even say anything. That person on the other side that you're doing business dealing with, you're like, I already know what they're thinking. I know how I'm going to respond to this. We don't even got to look at each other. It's just like, it's so automatic. And that comes with trust. That's the only way that you can build it. How do you build trust? You got to spend real time together. You got to get to know each other. You got to really consider. It is like a family dynamic. And if you talk about it from like a business perspective, the way that I always look at it is this: the artist is the CEO, and the manager is the COO.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how I look at it from that perspective.
100%.
And that relationship in business is a very real relationship. You got to trust each other as well.
And optimism is everything too. It's like remaining optimistic, I believe that we're in the greatest time ever in the music business.
I say it all the time.
I believe we're in a renaissance.
I say it all the time.
I mean, again, words from shout out to Jerry Edward. Like, I feel like the next 5 to 10 years is going to be bigger artists than ever before. There's going to be bigger hits than ever before. There's going to be bigger rooms sold out than ever before. And
Like that.
Grassfed's going to be part of one of those.
Agree.
And because I believe in the business, I believe in the art. I don't believe in the tools. I don't believe in the infrastructure. I don't believe in the industry. I believe in the art. I believe in the music. And I just feel like, especially young people, they have an ability to transcend no matter what walls are in front of them. Back in our day, was from, Napster to iTunes to streaming. We all thought we were going to struggle and never make it through. But look, bigger artists than ever before. You're hitting worldwide markets through a click of a button.
Yeah.
And if you can really penetrate that market, you can then tour and you can make a living. All the things that made us money 10 years ago still exist to this day. None of it's gone away. Radio, shows, touring, merchandise, it's all there. I mean, there's artists making hundreds of thousands of dollars through merchandise but have no streaming. It's now just about making an impact.
It's sort of like building the culture around it.
Exactly.
I think culture is something that people are wanting so closely to be part of now, because it's just becoming more of a open, acceptable thing.
Well, it's always, to your point, culture has always been a thing.
Yeah.
You fall in love with an artist because there's something in that artist that is like, you feel like you want to be a part of that. And then you find kind of like there's a community that also feels the same, and you find that community. For me, it was hip hop. It's like that music made me feel a part of a community. I fell in love with the art form. And when I talk about hip hop, I'm talking about like the elements of hip hop. I'm going old school over here, like b-boying, DJing, MC, graffiti. Like, I fell in love with that shit.
Yeah.
Specifically b-boying. Like, I was a breakman when I was young.
Oh, wow.
I love that shit. I'm aging myself. 42 years old here. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
I see the b-boy. I see the breakdance.
I see the b-boy.
Marisa, you're younger than me?
Girls,
Let me fucking find out,
Dude, like,
Ricky.
I do
That's
headspace, and
what's
it was
up,
cool
my
back in the
nigga,
day,
yo.
girl. Now you can't do that shit, but like,
I sang Donald Jones, Where I Want to Be. Anytime I wanted to get a girl, I just sang that song.
you would sing?
That's it.
Oh, only I could sing.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I would do.
I would do 6 steps and then go
Oh, cool.
top rocks, bottom rocks, do this.
Okay.
And then like that was cool back then.
yeah,
Today,
the girls would be like, what the fuck?
yeah, high school, like, no, let's do like, that's fucking lame.
No, everybody love that shit.
Today, I know, I think these kids, it's different time. But back then, but I mean, that was a part of it, right? And it was like, I found my
Mhm.
friends in my circle of friends too, and but like if you go to like a System of the Down show, you know what I mean? That's a real community.
Of course.
Look at
My emo girl days, my Hot Topic days.
your Deftone days, your System of the Down days, like but there's people there that have similar interests. I mean, you can go back as far as, and this is the first conversation I ever had on the podcast was with Troy, and he's like, everybody talks about like the super fan, but the Beatles had super fans from day one. The only thing was just the medium of how they would connect with each other. It was millions and millions of fans sending in fan mail.
I remember that.
But there was communities around that. There was culture around that, right? Beatlemania.
Yes.
Real culture around
Yes.
that.
Still exists.
But we just didn't talk about it. The only reason it gets talked about now more than ever is because all of a sudden there was a report in Goldman and Sachs. The superfan business is a $4 billion business annual or whatever it may be, so it becomes like monetized.
Yes.
That's when it becomes all of a sudden a music business. Now it's like let's all talk about this and let's all figure out how to get to that. But the truth is,
surviving on food stamps, Medi-Cal, a son of immigrants who taught him the value of hard work.
This is
Randy
for
Summit
educational
is in China.
purposes.
He did it as an educator and small business owner. And it's what
YouTube.
he'll do in Congress. He'll fight corruption by banning stock trading and fight to lower the cost of rent, gas, healthcare, and groceries. Because Randy Villegas ha luchado
Oh
toda su
my
vida.
God, they locked
And
out
it's what
this
he'll
shit,
do
bro.
for value
Alright.
families.
Next time you put a commercial on the mute that shit. And I muted. What you think about that, player? What the hizzle?
Doubted me all the way, telling me I was all hyped. They just mad that I'm him and they got to do it. If you don't like it, you can sue.
Whatever it is.
also there is that direct offense that you can have, and it's not all about the tools, it's about the optimism. And I think like two people can have the same set of tools, but if you have different mindsets, one's positive and one's negative, I can tell you who's going to make it work.
Sure, of course.
Well, I think also like what you're saying is powerful, bro. It's like I have this theory, and people can disagree with this, but I think being an artist at first is important to be extremely selfish. When you're creating music, you need to be selfish. If you think you know who's going to resonate with it, then you're not a real artist.
Brother, someone
Oh, agree.
this superstar executive who I was with yesterday stopped me dead in my tracks. I was kind of telling him, I said, best artists have this narcissism in them. And he said to me, he's like, I would look for that in artists, because if they had narcissism, I'm working with them. Like, I feel like that's the thing to run away from. It's no, man. That was what we were talking about. And like, it really was a profound thing that he said to me. And I think about it more like selfishly, but he just went straight to the narcissism thing. And I was like, wow, that's pretty powerful. Now, I'm not saying to artists, go and be a piece of shit. You know what I mean? But like, yes,
creating is a selfish act. Creating music, creating art is not. I've only seen the greatest artists. I don't want to say on writers, but the greatest artists, they create from a place that is within inside them, and only they are resonating with it. They don't know who will resonate with it, and the reason why Daniel Caesar or a Jesse or whatever will do so well is because when people discover it, they had no idea they needed it.
Yeah.
It's why Billie Eilish to me is one of the biggest artists in the world, because her and her brother were creating selfishly from their place of whatever that was, insecurity, whatever it was, and the music felt extremely emotional. And Billie on the outside related to girls where they're like, we talk about this all the time. Oh, I could just wear baggy clothes and have my nails done and feel beautiful. She normalized it. You don't have to be like every other girl. You can wear sneakers, you can wear hoodies, you can be whoever you want, but you don't have to be like everyone else. And when people discovered her, they're like, I didn't know I needed you. Oh my God, thank you. You gave me something I didn't know I needed. And now I can grow with you because you provided a side of me that was missing.
But it comes so natural. It comes natural to the artist because the artist will be like, "You fuck with that shit that I thought that was just my thing."
That was my weird thing I've been doing.
Yo, I remember one time, just long time ago, before Jesse broke, like way before, but somebody hired her in Toronto to do a show, like at a random, I don't even remember where it was, and the promoter met us outside. Some promoter, I don't even know, I can't remember his name. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
And like opened it to us with like in a t-shirt and some just like some shorts. And the guy says, "So what are you gonna wear?" And we were like, but like me and like Jesse were like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna wear. This thing's all good. And I looked at that motherfucker like, "What the fuck are you?" And then in that moment too, we were like, "Oh, you just think that like you need to wear, you have to have some kind of look to be like to make it." We're like, you know what? Ah, fuck that. Do you wear whatever you? And that kind of like was an indicator for us in that moment, like, hey, there's this like image that people have of like what success looks like in the business.
Yes.
Hell no.
Yeah.
We're not. No, we don't play by our rules. I don't know. Two
And
spits
that
probably
goes
just
along
fucking.
with- No, but that's such a real thing that I will still say that I'm a newer manager. I feel like I will always say that just because you're always learning new things.
Agree.
But with heavy beats specifically, that is such a real thing because there is no like
My
pocket
style
you
is
can put him in.
amazing.
There is no genre you
No.
can put him in. There is no like trajectory of what he should be doing. He created a brand based off of a box that was never checked. Like, even when you go, like, side note, just because my ADHD for a second, when you go fill out a form, it says, where are you from? And it says, like, Asia, blah, blah, blah. There is no box for us. So it's almost like he's creating this box
Yeah, that's cool.
for everyone. And, like, similar to what you're saying, like, it is so special. It's, like, the most amazing feeling ever. But, like, to your point of, like, is that what you're wearing? Like, there's been times where I tell Heavy Beats and I'm like, hey, like this person is asking us to create, for example, today, a set of like they wanted something specific that wasn't exactly what we did, but they wanted it to be a bit more mainstream and fit their box. And he was like, no, fuck that. Like, you want me?
You want me? Yeah.
This is what you're wanting me for.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
straight up.
yes, straight up, like 100%. And like, to me, that's so special, especially for artists, like learning. It's like we work with another amazing artist who his name's Navan. He's from Toronto. He's like this Persian Canadian artist that sings in Farsi and French. And like that also has never been done. We're creating the similar world around Navan that we did with Heavy Beats, where it's like catering to the boxes that have never been checked. And we're seeing that grow very quickly because, similar to what you're saying, more than ever, like culture is such a beautiful thing and like it's such an empowering thing, but like being true to who you are and not having to feel like you need to like cater to certain things to make it. You just put your head down, keep working, doing what you're doing, growing what you're doing, being loyal to what you are and what you're doing and genuine.
Yep.
And people fuck with that. Like,
Yeah,
and
that-
they want that.
And when people say authenticity, that's the perfect explanation of
It's
what
so-
authenticity is.
Yeah.
That's the perfect explanation because you have to be. Authenticity just is essentially be who you are. You can't be somebody else because guess what? You're gonna be second best.
Yes.
You gotta be yourself.
And I battle with that as a newer manager because then I hear the education side, like, this is how the music business is, this is what you should do. And then there's like the little lack of education of like the history of all that. But then knowing what we're doing is working. So I'm like, do I lean a little this way of like, oh, this is the traditional music business. We got to do this to make sure people are happy. But like, no, stick here and stay here because this is what's clearly working.
Yeah. There's also this is the music business. It's kind of the wild, wild west. There's no rules and regulations in this fucking thing. There should be. But like, so like there is like that traditional way of doing the business. What is? I mean,
What does
when
that
people
even
say that, what does that even mean?
Yeah,
I guess when it comes like pre-streaming, maybe I don't fucking know.
yeah.
But all I know is when there is this like idea of this is the thing again. You're talking about like optimism, right? When I hear so many people on social media, because I get it now more than ever, is artists or certain managers and be like, the music business is fucked up. And I'm like, yeah, what era would you rather be in? This one I'm like, sure, things are gonna be fucked up, but you know what? Business was pretty fucked up when it wasn't deregulated the way that it is right now.
Yeah.
When it wasn't democratized. Guess what? A lot of predatory deals.
Yeah.
Artists wasn't making money. Show me 20 years ago which artists were making money on their record sales, not signed to a major label. Limp Bizkit, I just saw, speaking of which, Fred Durst, he's suing right now because he's never seen a royalty statement. And the record label said, you're still unrecouped. This is significant other Limp Bizkit saying you're still unrecouped. He audited them, they owed him $1 million, and he just wanted to go and sue them for way more.
I was gonna say that was.
Limp Bizkit,
Yeah.
40 million sold across the globe.
Yeah.
Insane.
And you would like, yeah, super successful. Like that new metal successful. That era was massive when it came to. There was nobody bigger than that.
100%.
And they're telling, and you're. So what era of the business was it when the artists were making that kind of? Come on, man. Now it's different, right? And I'm not saying that like they made money on show money and stuff like that, but
Not what he was deserved.
glass half empty, glass half full. I've been saying that pretty religiously lately, but.
There's a thing about that too. I mean, like even now, like I hear artists all day long, independent man, I want to control my masters, I want to own my masters. I'm like, cool, man. Like, okay, but are you going in the studio with killers? Because I'm cool with you owning your masters, but if we're not going with killers, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm happy to sign to a major label. Like, we need to
Me too.
focus on
Like if you've got good partners, right? Like if you have great partners, because 100% of nothing is nothing. It's nothing. But you know, if you have great music, and then all like Charlie said this on this conversation, in this podcast.
Love
Charlie
Charlie.
Rocket, amazing. Remind me of him actually. Now that I think about it, it's like
I love Charlie.
great fire
Yeah.
in the conversation. But Charlie's just like, I don't think there's good labels and bad labels. And I'm like, you know what? I agree. I think there's like just like individuals that you want to do business with, and some of them can be on a major system.
Yes.
And if they fuck with you, and you know, like you can do good deals. The truth as well is like, again, not to bring it back to me or anything, but there was, you know, at Coachella, there was a lot of executives, high-powered executives, who were wanting to have conversations with me because of the podcast, and we're watching it, and they felt comfortable to talk to me. And they're like, the truth is this, like, those predatory deals, like with major labels, they don't exist the way that they do. Like, you can't do that.
Can't get away with
He's
it.
like, I don't think one of them told me, part of one of the majors. And he's like, I think I've done, I think I've done license deals only for like the last decade.
Yeah.
You know?
I've been explaining this to everybody. I'm like, you're so confused in what you think that business is. I mean, one, you signed it. So whatever you signed, you signed. That's on you. I always tell artists, you signed it, that's on you. That's not, you didn't have the nuance to like fight something. But you want to stay independent, yet you're working with sub-average producers, sub-average writers, sub-average content creators, and then you're asking me why there's no playlisting, why you're not getting anything. Well, the second you ask me about playlisting, I can't work with you anymore. If you think your business is defined by playlisting, you really have something loose in your head. You need to create something that is selfishly about you, and then you need to figure out how people are going to resonate with it. If they don't, blame the music, not the industry. No label, no manager, no playlist can give you more than maybe 5 to 10% support. Maybe, if you're lucky. Imagine major labels. I said this the other day as a joke. Created a Instagram page called AtlanticRecords.com/failed artists. They would have to post 3,000 times a day to show you how many failed artists they have. We only look at the ones that win and think that's the trajectory. Or independent artists look at Russ. I've met Russ. This guy is an unbelievable human being. He's not sitting there going, I just want to be independent. He's working his ass off. He's working morning to night. And it's actually, sometimes it can hurt your career because he's not looked at like a major label artist is or like a Drake or whatever. He's making more money than them. And he's happy with that. It's not going to be the same story.
Drake, but
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? No, respectively, like he owns everything.
Yes.
And he's able to like decide where everything is going while maintaining his composure.
Absolutely.
It's insanely competitive with himself. Insanely to the point where it's hard to be around him.
Student of the game.
Because he's so crazy and he's so on it and he remembers you. I met him once and I met him again. He's like, Niall. I was like, oh, this guy's got it. I mean, 99% of artists just don't understand.
Nigga, if he's
Any
competitive.
flash?
Russ my favorite artist.
It's like your
Fuck
toilet
with him.
sneezes. Good thing I do myself a
fuck with him
spray is
because
3 times
he's
more
just
effective
like
at
me.
stopping this sort of germs.
We're not gonna stop.
Spreadsheet to calculate your music rights, contracts, and royalties.
Of saying, hey, I'm going to remain independent. Like that game takes forever. So to think you need to be independent because that's how you're going to be successful is wrong. And you just need to work with people that believe in you. That means you're giving and giving up things. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, how many writers have made fortune from 5% publishing? I know that for a fact. My brother has made fortunes from 5%, 7%, 8% publishing.
Yes.
He's never batted an eye when someone's like, yeah, you're getting less publishing. I don't care.
Right.
If this song ain't going to radio, it don't matter.
Yeah.
And so people have lost that. While yet, major labels still exist, major hits still exist, radio is bigger than it used to be. It's supposed to be up by 1%, growing every single year. So what is the excuse that you don't want to try to be on top of the world? Because you have it in your head that all that matters is controlling your masters, owning your rights, being independent. Well, how many fucking independent labels right now are signing 80 artists a month? Ain't no chance those artists are going to blow up the way they could. You see I love Max Usada and Julie Greenwald. They're starting a record
Right.
label. Their whole ethos is we're not doing what everyone else is doing. We're signing 2-3 artists, developing them, and breaking them into stardom. Look at Republic Records,
That's
that's
like
Atlantic.
Nick Raff does the same thing.
Yeah, bro, and I still believe in that. I'll never not believe in that because I'm like you, a movie buff. I know when a movie is really good because they took 6 months to write that script. They took their time. How many times you watch a movie on Netflix as if the movie was made so you can scroll on your phone while you're watching it?
That's kind of the precedent now on Netflix.
But yet,
Like,
once in a while, a movie will come
Yeah.
that is made well. Like Rip was made by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Unbelievable
That's right.
movie because they took months to make it, and then they told all the staff, if this does well, everyone's earning.
Right, they all get equity.
And so Netflix said, if this does 110% streaming, then we will 110% streaming time or whatever it's called, then we will start paying out royalties to everyone. They did it. And it's the same thing that K-pop Demon Hunters did it. I think people don't want to accept that you have to still make exceptional ideas. Whether you're using AI, not AI, whether you are using a team of people, if it's not exceptional, don't expect it to do well. And it only needs to be exceptional to you and the people who are challenging you in the room. If someone's not challenging you and you just want everyone to listen to what you're doing because you think it's really, really good, but you didn't even try to beat the last thing you make, don't talk to me about being independent. Don't talk to me about owning your rights. Don't talk to me about publishing. Don't talk to me about lack of playlisting or what executives didn't do or did do. What did you do?
Yeah. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. It's just like you can point the finger at everybody else in the room except for yourself. Guess what? That's going to be a detriment to your career. They tell you it will not work. Always do your best to. When things go wrong in my day to day, week to week, I always. At the end of the day, I will look at myself and like, how can I have approached that situation? The other thing about being an independent artist and this whole like owning my rights and all this stuff, it's like, okay, cool, to your point, like you can be an independent artist, you're an entrepreneur.
Right.
Because I hope you understand that being an independent artist is being a businessman, a businesswoman, and being an entrepreneur and understanding how that works. I hope you like reading agreements. I hope, and if you don't, guess what? You're gonna need a partner.
Right.
And that's no longer independent the way that you think it is.
Or
Right?
do you have the budget to bring in that partner?
Do you have the budget? Do you know how to not spend money and put together a proper rollout that's not going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars because you don't know where you're going to get the capital from? There's so much that goes in. You have to make every single decision yourself.
Yeah, it can be definitely a little bit looking at it as like in a small picture, all to just maintain the ownership yourself, which like even when it comes to artists working with other writers, like I don't know, you guys could probably speak on that more, but I found it to be such a struggle as a manager to like understand like why wouldn't you want to work with other writers? Why is that such a hard thing for someone? And whether anyone wants to admit it, I feel like a big part of that is ego. Like there's nothing wrong with, of course, writing your own music, for sure. But I think there is a place where collaboration is extremely important.
Absolutely.
And like some of the biggest songs I've gone on the Spotify credits and this new thing that they're doing on Spotify,
Yes.
the DNA thing,
Yes.
right? It's pretty cool because then you can kind of connect the dots. Like, but when you look at these credits, it's like some of the biggest records have like so many people involved.
Yeah.
I would say like there's enough food on the table to feed everyone. Okay, especially when you get to that point. Like I can imagine there's definitely enough food to feed everyone. But when you're just a little bit more like closed-minded in that sense, when it comes to collaborations, it's very limiting in a creative capacity as well. And that therefore limits you overall on the business and where things can lead. Like
I would agree to that. The thing is here on this side is that I'm not an artist, so I can't speak to the plight of the artist. But I think what ends up happening with artists, real artists, they will have a lot of trouble working with other writers because it doesn't feel like it absolutely came from them.
correct.
So
Yeah.
it's innately, it's like violence. It's not me all the way.
Yeah.
And so I respect that. And that's my understanding of it now, years later. It's like, okay, you need to have ownership of this because this is your story.
Yes.
I get it. I understand. But here's the other reality. Want Massive Records? We all love Kanye's music. We might not love the person of Kanye. Whatever. I'm talking about the music. Guess what? There's 37 writers on every fucking song.
Well, okay, yes, but let me kind of push that narrative a little more. Let me ask you, like, why is it, and this is the question I ask artists, and it always comes down to this, it's like, but why is it that if we did put a writer in the room with you, someone that you liked, someone that you connected with, someone that you respected and inspired you, why wouldn't it be that that writer, in the most respectful way, isn't the vehicle to help you get to that place?
Mhm.
Like, they're not taking anything away from your story. They're there to enhance your story. They're there to allow you a creative space to like be able to be part of that magic that you're building. I feel like it isn't so black and white.
Also, how do you become a global
it's just-
superstar if you do everything? It's impossible.
Yeah,
How do you become Beyonce by writing every single song?
right. No, and I see your point. I think it is all collaboration. I mean, to answer your question again, I'm not an artist, but I think artists will be that one thing is very precious to them.
Yeah, of course.
And I think it also comes from, if I really have to think about it, it's probably from childhood. Because before they are even artists, recording artists, they're poets. They're writing poems. And they've been writing poems since they were 4 years old.
Yeah,
Everything
And
is
it's for
poetry.
themselves.
our daughter does that.
There you go.
She's just always just like,
I think it's about challenging.
Journal entries, like the
Yeah.
and so that's all for themselves. And to the earlier point we're talking about Billy and Phineas, it's like, they did this thing selfishly, and that's the one thing they're not going to let go of. They will never
Yeah.
let go of because it's so. But I get what you're saying. Like
yeah,
maybe look at it from a different perspective because the rest of your business, you are allowing people to push that vehicle further.
But you're seeing hits. I mean, look, the Writers is podcast, great podcast, and you can see like it gives you a look into the biggest writers in the world.
Totally.
And what they all say is there's like 6 or 7 of us every time in the room, or 3 or 4 of us every time in the room. Some guy is better than the other, but one person offers top line stronger, another person offers lyrics stronger, another person does production, another person's more synth style, and they all matter. But every one of us are convinced in the room that we need to make things better. And that conviction is what I say is missing with most people. Like, I mean, what are you going to tell an artist when they say, hey, I want to do everything myself? No problem. Year 1, crushing. Year 2, crushing. Year 3, crushing. Year 4, this album didn't do as well. But you still want to shoot big music videos. How are we going to afford them? How are we going to cut them? How are we going to pay for them? Everyone needs to listen to me. You need to do what I want to do. Well, I kind of need something that gets the label and the team to want to invest in you. Yeah, but I've built all these amazing things. This music is so amazing. Yeah, but they're looking at the P&L. They're looking at the numbers. And it's not generating enough. So they want to cut the video budget. They want to cut the studio time budget. They want to cut the album budget. And I always go to the artists. The more they cut, the more you need to be more competitive. The more you need to start accepting in outside work. I'd say the greatest example of that is Maroon 5. I don't know him personally in any sort of way, but I do know for a fact that he stopped writing the songs. And that's what transcended their careers. That's what took them into the stratosphere. He stopped writing the songs, and he allowed other people to write them while knowing you'll never be able to perform them the way I can.
Right.
It's like Beyonce having almost 200 writers on Love and Renaissance, which we were a part of. I think there's an interview of her saying, I have nothing to prove to you as a writer.
True.
I have nothing to prove to you. I mean, would you be surprised if you knew Frank Sinatra never wrote a single song?
Yeah, I know that.
Right, you know that, but he never wrote a single song.
Yeah.
They were written by other people. Yet none of them could be Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is so important that you are not gonna ever be Frank Sinatra. So when I see like a Tate McRae, who I fucking think is phenomenal, because she's a beast. And she's going in with absolute beasts, and those beasts recognize that she's a beast.
Yeah.
Brian Tanner's like, I'm not going in with this artist who just wants to do everything himself. I'm going with this artist that knows what I can bring to the table. So I think there's nothing wrong with an artist wanting to do everything themselves, but you have to recognize when you've hit a wall and that you can accept that help and find that person. I've been proud that I've worked with many people that have gone through that difficult time, and I took the challenge to say, I'm not going to change you. I'm going to find someone that challenges you. And that makes you feel good. That makes you feel like, oh, they see me and I want to take this on. I want to challenge myself creatively. But I think we're all part of the birth of artists that have become so obsessed with doing it themselves. Daniel Caesar, Jesse, her, they all came up at a similar time about 10 years ago. Where prior to that, very well, there was no such thing as that type of artist killing it. There was no artists who did it all themselves with their own team and they didn't need outside hits and there was no big writers on the project. That's a whole evolution that's happened from SZA, all these clients who you can't see the writing credits and see like the biggest names on them. But then that kind of, in my opinion, again, these are just my opinions, went away and it's gone back to a collective of really killer writers who are dominating all the biggest songs and dominating all the biggest artists. And I don't know, for me, I'm only interested in focusing on that.
Well, I mean, even those guys, like the Daniel Caesars and the Jessies, I can speak to that very specifically.
Of course,
because I
yes.
work with Jesse, and I think Daniel Caesar team I know very well.
Yes,
But
shout out to Matt.
Shout out to Matt, shout out to Jordan. But I'll tell you right now, when Freudian was the thing, that team was, there was Daniel, that was Jordan, that was Matthew, that was Riley Bell, that was Sean Brown, and that was Kayvon. And that was the nucleus, right? Sean Brown and Kayvon creating all these beautiful visuals, created the album cover. We the producers on the music video, and we were doing Best Part with them, and they're absolutely incredible nucleus of a team. It wasn't just Daniel Caesar and Jordan and Matthew. They had to build a team because the inverse is true too. Because when you're building a business and it's growing, you can't do it all yourself. You gotta let go of these pieces, right? When it was Byron, Jesse, and myself, we had Dana Myerson on Biz3, who was PR. We had David Jacobs, who was legal, who was handling everything around. He came a little bit later, but Zach Katz and Jeremiah Thomas were publishing and A&R, right? We did a publishing deal before we did a record label deal because we said, hey, we need some capital. We have better leverage doing a publishing deal. We don't need to go to a record label right away. But once that happened, we had also Zach Geiser and Caroline Im. Zach Geiser was the agent. He believed way early. We have all these things in play. I've said this a few times now, and I got so much love for him. But Pat Corcoran, we had him in our corner. He was helping us out. Also because I'm just I'm tenacious as well. I'm going to plug and try and connect with people that understand how the business is operating right now. And he's like, let me connect you to Rosa. Then we had Nate Wozniak in Canada.
Yeah, that's right.
We're connecting with these people. We didn't do it all by ourselves. It's just independent by the name, right? But we're having definition problems. It's just like that. We weren't signed to a record label. We put out a song, it goes crazy, and the world comes around, and we start to look and navigate. It's like there's a lot of resources here. Can we put together a good deal? We're not afraid to push back on things. I also, and at that time, being a manager in this, I like to push and I like the challenge. I like the deal. I like the deal making and this is of course, this is our lives we're talking about. You know what I mean? And
The ping pong of it.
yeah, that is just if they say no to me on something, that's the worst they could say. No, okay, cool.
And that is exactly, I love that.
Yeah.
I actually get a high off of no's. I don't know what it is. I'm like, great, no, sounds good. You're going to be the one losing, not me.
So when I used to be in sales, I used to have to roll 150 calls a day.
Yeah.
So my boss,
5 no's before you hang up.
my boss would be like, how are you going to get 150 calls? I'm going to beg them to say no to me. I'm going to get everyone to say no. Thanks, bye, bye. Right away. And then they'd be like, now you're going through too many calls. I'm like, don't worry, man. I don't got time to waste in hoping a person's going to say yes or no. Let me just get the no out of the way. And a lot of times what CEOs would do, because I would call big time CEOs, I was corporate matchmaking at the time. That's what I was doing. They loved that I got them to say no. they'd be like, now hold on. I love that you're not wasting my time. Email me, I'll call you in a week, and I'll buy the tickets, and we'll move on. And every single time they would say that, I guaranteed it was going to be closed. Because I knew the CEO of Victoria's Secret is in a call with some 22-year-old in an office, in a boiler room office, being like, hey, I'm Niall from IQPC, like as if I was anybody at the time. I was lying. But the reality was,
I did send call like that. I did. Oh,
yeah, dude, I did that for years. Right? I did day-to-day. I sold knives. I did
I
everything.
was on the phone as well to knives.
Knives. I swear to God, I worked 60 part-time jobs before music.
Yeah.
So I did Chuck E. Cheese, bro. I was Chucky for fucking 4 years. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit while selling weed. You know what I mean? But like, that's what you
Take it off the thing. Oh, this was
straight
smooth,
the market
bro.
up, dude.
Yeah.
Straight the market up. That's
Dime
exactly.
bag in your bag.
That was straight up, dude. I put it in the Chucky cup. Someone come in the back. You get your weed. I go back.
So I'm selling weed. My man. All right, my brother. I apologize for the time that I'm sending this, but I'm praying that you and Miss Erica go through this probably a few weeks from now. Because you're going to hear from me every day. It's going to be at random times. I don't expect you to check everything in real time. If you do, that'd be cool. But as an artist, I also have to fight for your time because I know you have a bazillion things going. So first things first, as you can see on my live stream, and you know this will be part of the documentary and the movie and all that stuff. I'm
Being Chuck E. Cheese.
putting myself up to date with
I
all the
swear to
master
God, dude. I
classes,
swear
right?
to God, that was my life.
But there's one thing that stayed out to me.
I have nothing to hide from.
First of all,
I grew up
I need
as
to
a
say
hustler,
thank you because I
just think,
greatly
like,
appreciate
that's
everything
what
you
it
do. I
takes,
think
man.
it's phenomenal, and that's the only reason why
story.
It's a
you're
TV
part of
show.
my team.
Yeah, it's TV show for sure.
Second of
I mean,
all,
I think she's an absolute.
I think
you know,
I
but, like,
realize why I
think-
always call
I
you
just
rookie
think,
because
man,
I'm a year
we
older
can't
than you.
lose that.
I
We
haven't
cannot lose that thought
invested
that we're
the
gonna
time
make
to look at the
something
Wikipedia,
incredible.
so I don't
I
know
look at
all the
Kehlani,
stats.
shout out to David,
But
to me, one of
that's
the
part of
greatest
my
managers of all
discovery
time.
process. When I'm ready, I'll look through it. Right now,
She,
I'm
I
just
think,
in
just
career mode.
was convinced it was gonna happen.
So
I know nothing about
even
them.
right
I
now
don't
that
work
I'm
with
creating
them. I
content
love
and
them.
this is
I'm
in real
such a
time,
fan. But when I saw Folded
I
doing
just
well,
want to be able to reach out. You know,
Which I just
you should be hearing from
Oh,
me
really?
no less
I saw
than
that. That was amazing.
probably
He's a producer,
7
right?
times a day.
So I was like,
and I'm
first
being
of all,
nice. I really
knew it
would want
was
to
gonna
reach
happen
out
one
every
way or
single
another.
hour.
And she's
But
such an
other than
advocate
that,
of, like,
I'm
love
gonna get back to my
peace,
master
she's
class,
so, like,
and
political
I want to
a
finish by
wonderful
saying
human
thank you
being.
because it is
And
true.
we've had so much
You
interactions
bring
with
so
her and her
much to the
team and
table.
everyone, but it was
And
so
now for
beautiful
me,
to see.
it provides
Like,
a
that
deeper
over time,
understanding
all she needed was a
because
record.
now it makes
Right.
sense to
And
me
look how
why
transcended for her.
you may not
So,
even
like, in
understand
Jesse's case,
my
like, no
music
question,
like that.
a
Like,
record will just come.
you
And that's
are
it. And even my brother,
very
he
close to
tried
my era,
everything
but
as
you're
an
not
artist. I mean,
where
no one
I'm
has struggled
from
more than
in my era.
my brother has slept
So
in subway
there's a
stations.
lot
My
of
brother
things
has
that with time you'll get to know
slept
more and you'll
under
see. But
everyone's freaking table
peace
at their
and blessings
house
be with
to
you, my
just
brother.
like
God
save
bless.
money. He has. I remember when I first came to LA, he's like, "We're gonna go shopping to get food." We went to the 99-cent store, dude. No lie. And he had like $30, and that's what we had for the entire month. And he was eating shit ass eggs and crappy sausages. But he didn't care. He was in the studio till 2 a.m. every single day, and he never gave up, and he never stopped trying. He kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And at 33 or something like that, magic happened. And Rude happened in his 30s. You know what I mean? And he was told by everyone it wasn't going to happen, that it wasn't going to work. And shout out to Charles Chavez, who was the first person that believed in my brother on the artist side. But then my brother had an epiphany, and I think I was a part of this epiphany. I was like, how about we make it not about you and make it about a band and a brand? And that way remove yourself from the equation with your incredible songwriting. And then when he then invested his own money, got a house called the Magic House that we all stayed in and lived in, put everyone in the house, all the band members, and said, I will pay for your lives, just please dedicate to me. And then they created Roots. And then that's how Root blew up. So like
It was an amazing house. There's so many creatives in and out of that house.
straight goosebumps.
On the couches, on the floor, like it was like a 4-bedroom house with like 15 people at a time living in it. It was like
literally. people sleeping in the what's it called, the water and heater room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
they're just young cats that were just trying to make it.
Yeah.
That were coming from, because everyone in LA is not from LA.
Yeah.
So it's all these people coming from all over the place.
That's like Tyler Arms. Tyler Arms.
Love Tyler Arms.
Yeah, he had the house over here in LA too, and all of us would go and crash. He'd let anybody come in there. You're Canadian? Okay, cool. Do you know
Yeah.
somebody that knows, like, is there like a first degree of separation? Good person?
Come on
Yeah,
down.
that was exactly
Pull
what
up.
it was. For
Yeah.
us too. It was exactly that.
I think it's just about good, man. Remember the Canadian group Down with Webster?
That's Tyler.
Yeah.
That's Tyler.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
me and Tyler have spoken before in DM, and like I knew them before I was in music. I used to work with this company called the Young Astronauts. An amazing
I know.
Canadian.
You work with Young Astronauts?
Yeah.
They made Mad Rock's. Yeah. They made Mad Rock's first website.
Nev is one of the most incredible creatives of all time. She is
Beast.
unbelievable. I spent
Wow.
so many hours with them. I lived in their office.
No
I was
fucking
part of
way.
everything. The legendary stories I have to tell you off camera, but like absolutely incredible human beings, and like they were really the opening of like, no, good ideas matter, and if we focus on good
Yes.
ideas, like people will react. And I even remember seeing recently Down with Webster coming back, and I was fucking proud of them.
Yeah.
I was like,
I saw the show there in the history,
and they're amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, Howard, I don't know where you guys, why you stopped at some point, but like when you guys came back, it just proves to show like good things just don't go away. I mean, look at Backstreet Boys, having
Oh,
one of
wow.
the most successful Spirit shows of all time.
Yes.
I sang every song, every lyric, every melody,
Have you
every
been?
little thing.
No, to the Sphere or no? I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they still there?
I don't know if
They're
they're
coming
still
back.
there.
Okay,
I think
okay.
they are coming back, but I watched also The Wizard of Oz, which was amazing.
At the Sphere?
With our daughter. Yeah. I don't know, bro. I just think it's so beautiful if you look back at all the incredible things that's happened in the industry, and if you just continue to like see that and fall in love with that, you can do anything. Any manager who's listening to this pod right now, dude, tomorrow you can transcend. Tomorrow you can blow up. You can lose everything, burn it all down, and do it all again. You gotta come from a place of like delusional belief. You gotta come from a place of love, and you gotta make sure you're working with people that want to be the best. Because otherwise, I mean, what are we doing? We're getting by, Like, I look at my brother's career, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? I look at what we're doing with Avy, that's what it's about.
Yes.
I have no interest in anything else other than that.
And I have no doubt that this company of yours is going to absolutely crush.
Thank you, bro.
I think this is a great way to end the conversation.
I agree.
Yeah.
This is a good way to go and conquer the world.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this, both of you. I think you have an amazing story, and I love it.
Thank
I
you
love
for
the
having me.
energy between both of y'all, and the love and passion that you have for your artists and your writers. Amazing. This is
Thank you.
great. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. As the official music publishing rights partner of TMP, Cosign is helping us bring the TMP Music Publishing Playbook to life. Check out the new playlist on YouTube and socials to learn how music publishing actually works. And don't forget to apply to Cosign so you're not missing out on money you can be earning from your music. Appreciate you for tapping in. My name is Mauricio Ruiz, host of the Manager's Playbook. I'll see you next week.
Deja vu. Go to the Chanel. Where is? Make sure I'm up to date. I think I'm gonna go. Go back. So I'm up to date with everything. Which I believe I have, but doesn't hurt to double check. So I got all of these, I put these. Oh, okay. That's one of those. I know I need that one, and I need that one, and that one I have. Okay. So, I'm pretty much up to date, but I need to touch up on. I don't need that right now. That one is good too, but that one I can wait for. Let me jump into Raichia. So I know I'm prepared for mañanas.
Receipts, gas, rent, groceries, doctor's visits skyrocketed. The valley is struggling to make ends meet. And now David Varadeo sold us out by taking hundreds of thousands from Big Pharma, then voted to cut Medi-Cal, putting 63,000 people in the valley at risk. The receipts keep coming. Instead of lowering costs, his votes help his corporate donors make billions while they hike up prices. The cost of trusting David Varadeo again, too high.